Della Falls is a moderate backpacking trail located in Strathcona Provincial Park. It is only accessible by boat across Great Central Lake. Love Lake is a beautiful alpine lake and challenging optional side trip. I completed Della Falls and Love Lake as a 3-day backpacking trip in mid-July of 2025. You do not need to pay a camping fee or register with BC Parks to camp along the Della Falls Trail. Most hikers take the Della Falls water taxi, which departs from Great Central Lake Resort. It's important to book online in advance since spots fill quickly in the summer. Some people choose to canoe or kayak instead, but Great Central Lake is a 35-kilometer long lake and prone to high winds. Launching options include the Great Central Lake RV Resort, which makes for a 35-kilometer paddle, or the Scout Recreation Site, which shortens the paddle to 24 kilometers. The boat ride to the trailhead takes approximately 45 minutes. The first campground is located at the trailhead. It has 2 bear caches, a full outhouse, 16 tent sites, and a canoe stand. I actually thought this was a really nice camping area. There are plenty of sites to choose from, and the lake is glorious for swimming in. From the trailhead to Margaret Creek, the trail is fairly easy. It follows a flat path, though some sections are slightly overgrown. There are a few dry creek crossings, with one still carrying water. The terrain is straightforward, and along the way you can spot remnants of old mining artifacts. It took us an hour and 40 minutes to reach Margaret Creek Camp from the trailhead. This campground has a screw-top bear cache, a pit toilet, and plenty of space for tents. After Margaret Creek, the trail becomes slightly more challenging. We crossed a bridge over the creek, then climbed a steeper section, and then descended again. The trail flattened out for a while before turning into a slow, mild uphill climb to the cable car campsite. It took us 1 hour and 20 minutes to hike from Margaret Creek to the site, bringing our total time to 3 hours from the trailhead. The cable car campground has a bear cache and water access, though getting water requires a short scramble down. Unfortunately, it does not have a pit toilet. A ladder leads up to the cable car, which can be a barrier for hikers with dogs. I was hiking with a buddy and we found the cable car easy to navigate. One of us held the car steady while the other person loaded up our gear and hopped in. Then we worked together to pull ourselves across.
Whee! Okay, this is anticlimactic.
The section of the trail beyond the cable car is moderate. There are rooty stretches and some gentle ups and downs. The trail crosses 2 narrow metal bridges over Drinkwater Creek, which could also be challenging for dogs. There are some beautiful spots along the water to cool off. A rocky uphill section follows. It's important to watch for flagging in this section. After the bridge, the path levels out, offering a clear view of Della Falls.
That's Della Falls.
Della Falls. Then it makes a gentle climb before flattening again. It took us 2 hours and 15 minutes to reach Sawblades Camp from the cable car campsite, for a total of 5 hours and 15 minutes from the trailhead. Saw Blades is the most popular campground on the trail as it provides a perfect base camp for the hike to Love Lake. There are many beautiful camping spots along the river as well as an overflow area. The campground has a bear cache and a pit toilet, although when we visited, the toilet was perilously close to being completely full. From Saw Blades, the path to Della Falls is easy, though a little overgrown. It took us 35 minutes to get there, or 5 hours and 50 minutes from the trailhead. The campground is located very close to the waterfall. There is a screw-top bear cache as well as a pit toilet at this site. Della Falls is a beautiful, multi-tiered cascade that throws up mist and spray. On our first night, we camped at the Saw Blades site. On our second day, we hiked to Love Lake. The trailhead for this hike is about 5 minutes from the Saw Blades camp. The route climbs through a series of switchbacks. It is steep, but the switchbacks make it much easier. So many hikes on Vancouver Island seem to take the most direct route up the mountain. Partway up, the trail crosses a slick creek with a steep drop-off. Higher up, there is a viewpoint above Della Falls that makes an excellent lunch spot, especially since the lake itself tends to be buggy in the summer. Beyond this point, hikers need to pay attention when following cairns as there are multiple routes that lead to the lake. Love Lake itself is stunning with bright blue alpine water. Snow can linger here well into July, so it's important to check recent trail reports before heading up. We brought microspikes just in case, but a heat wave had melted everything right before our trip. The final approach requires a steep descent into the basin, and when we arrived, the bugs were significant. I was glad to be wearing long sleeves and to have bug spray. It took us 2.5 hours to reach Love Lake from Saw Blades, with another 2 hours for the descent. Including a 30-minute lunch break, the round trip took us 5 hours in total. After hiking to Love Lake, we camped again at Saw Blades. On our third day, the hike back to the trailhead took about the same amount of time as our ascent, roughly 5 hours from Saw Blades to the bottom. The Della Falls Trail follows what was once a mining and logging route. In the 1890s, prospector Joe Drinkwater discovered mineral deposits in the area and named the waterfall after his wife, Della. By 1906, the Ptarmigan mine had begun operating on Big Interior Mountain. To reach it, miners constructed a path up the Drinkwater Valley that led to the base of the falls. From there, ore was packed out by horses to Great Central Lake, where it was loaded onto boats for transport. Before catching the water taxi out, we followed some advice we had read on AllTrails and stashed cold drinks and snacks in a cooler at the Trailhead campground. Having a swim and enjoying a refreshing treat was the perfect way to end the trip. Thanks for tuning into this hiking guide. Please like and subscribe for more backpacking routes on Vancouver Island.